Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for March 7th, 2022. We can go ahead and start with the roll.
Greg Strike.
Here.
Andre Spinelli.
Here.
Jared Gardner.
Here.
Radhika Krishna. Here. Jim Winchester.
Here.
Scott Pullis.
Here.
Jeff Ron.
Here.
Brandy Eber.
Here.
You have a quorum. Thank you.
Okay, and welcome Brandy Eber to the commission. We're excited to have you here, and I think this is the most people we've had here in person in a while. We're pretty close to our full number here, so that's fun to see. Next up, we've got the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Moved by Commissioner Ron, seconded by Commissioner Pullis. Any objection? Seeing none, that motion is approved. Next, special orders of business. We have disclosures. I'll go through the line, Commissioner Eber. And I think you should have received, a little cheat sheet, so you can just read that into the record.
I abstain from voting on the minutes and will abstain from consent agenda as I was not seated on the commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Pullis.
No disclosures.
I was worried for a hot second there that I mixed up your name. Commissioner Winchester?
No disclosures.
Commissioner Strike?
No disclosures.
Commissioner Krishna?
No disclosures.
Commissioner Spinelli?
Nothing to disclose.
Commissioner Ron?
No disclosures.
And no disclosures for myself. I see we are at that time of year again for the annual election of officers, so that's next on our agenda. Forgot that was there. So we'll have to get through that. I guess I'll just give it as an open floor to the commission to put forward names for the chair and vice chair. Motion by Commissioner Strike.
Thank you. Jared, I think, Jared, I think you've done a great job. I would move that we retain yourself as chair and Radhika as vice chair.
That motion is seconded by Commissioner Winchester, and I've got Commissioner Ron in the queue here.
I would intend to support that motion, so long as the nominees are willing to continue in their service.
Thank you, Commissioner Ron. I would be willing to continue. I can't speak for Commissioner Krishna.
I would also be willing to continue.
And I guess before we move forward, I'll give Commissioner Strike apologies and opportunity to speak further to your motion if you were interested in doing so.
No, I think you've got the thanks of the rest of the commissioners for the job that you've done stepping in when you did, and appreciate the quorum and the decorum that you've held at the meetings. So good job.
Any other comments here, Commissioner Winchester, or we can move forward to vote? Okay, we'll call the vote. Okay, that motion passes. Next up is a consent agenda, resolutions for approval. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Commissioner Strike, seconded by Commissioner Pullis. Any objection? Seeing none, that motion passes as well. Okay, carrying along, we've got one item on the agenda for public hearing. Before we get to that, I will read the procedure by which the public may speak to the commission at its meetings. After the staff presentation is completed on public hearing items, the chair will ask for public testimony on the issue. Persons who wish to testify will follow the time limits established in the commission rules of procedure. Petitioners, including all of his or her representatives, will receive 10 minutes. Part of this time may be reserved for rebuttal. Representatives of groups, community councils, PTAs, etc., will receive 5 minutes. Individuals will receive 3 minutes. When your testimony is complete, you may be asked questions by the commission. You may only testify once on any issue unless questioned by the commission. An individual may have appeal rights relating to any action the Planning and Zoning Commission takes, except commission recommendations to the Assembly which are not appealable. Appeals must be filed with the clerk's office within 20 days after approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission of the resolution, which is the commission's final decision. A fee for the appeal is required at the time of filing. Okay, first up and last up is case 2022-0016. Can we get a report, please?
Thank you, Chair Gardner. Case 2022-0016 is an ordinance to update the fee entitlement tables in the Anchorage Municipal Code of Regulations, AMCR. The current fee schedule was adopted in 2019 with language that was carried forward from a previous version of the Title 21. This is mainly a housekeeping ordinance regarding titles and descriptions, increases in fees to account for the time requirements to fulfill entitlements, elimination of entitlements that are no longer used, addition of new fees for entitlements not previously accounted for in the fee schedule, and new entitlements with new fees. Your staff packet details these on pages 1 and 2 for these updates. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Commissioner Krishna.
Sure, thank you. I think I'll ask if you could provide us with a little bit of information about why the snow disposal site fee is being eliminated, and if you could just speak real briefly about the fees being added. I think that would be helpful. Thank you.
Through the chair, Commissioner Krishna. The snow disposal site is no longer used we don't even, nobody applies for that. That's not even part of the code. We don't even use that anymore. The first three are basically, so currently like the alcohol permit says conditional use, but in Title 3, Chapter 3, it's special land use. That's just some cleanups. Same with the annual or biannual for rooming houses. That's actually in Chapter 3 code, but the title only allows a biannual currently, so we're trying to match code. The big one is actually on page 2 at the top. Currently an administrative review of a preliminary plat vacating an easement. Currently costs an applicant $4,155. We're trying to reduce that to $1,415, decreasing that by about $2,740 to make it easier. We have those probably more than most. We're trying to make that a little bit more affordable. Some of the new ones would be the recording of fees. That's actually kind of a COVID thing that we've done. We now record them online, and we eliminate the applicant having to, if they do not want to, do not have to go down to the DNR and actually do it and stand in line and do all those things. So we're just recuperating those costs. Minor modification, that's another one that's increased over the last couple of years. And the alternative equivalent compliance edition. Those take a little bit of time to do. That's staff work and other things that have to be done in the office that weren't originally in Title 21. Anything else?
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Ron.
Thank you through the chair. Staff, I'm focusing on page 3, lines 12 through 14, that first paragraph that talks about the potential increase in the GO budget for 2022 as it relates to the table on page 4. Can you walk me through the math? It doesn't need to be in great detail, but how are those numbers achieved to total 23,530? And maybe we can just use one example. That's around the alternative snow management agreement at $945. Is that an assumption of potential applications for that entitlement, or existing entitlements in the queue? How are those subtotals developed.
Through the Commissioner, Commissioner Ron, through the Chair, I mean, Commissioner Ron. Yes, these are, each of the line items are taken from this last year, actually, they were not taken from, they're taken from 2020 and 2021 and averaged as to how many times we've had to do them and how many would perpetually keep coming forward. So with the minor modification, I wish I had it in front of me, there, we did 30 or 40 or 50, I can't remember how many there were, same with the alternative equivalent compliance. Recording fees was, as you can see, is one of the largest ones that we incurred without any budget funds for in the last 2+ years with COVID. Same with the alternative snow management agreement. That's based on how many we've done in the past year or do annually. And then, of course, the plating fees is two, if two individuals or two applicants came in, just two, and wanted to vacate without a preliminary plat. We're guesstimating we're going to have more than two once that's, I already have two in the queue waiting for this to be approved by the Assembly just so they can vacate easements without having to pay the $4,000 fee. I hope that answers your question.
It does, and if I may ask a quick follow-up. Understand that this will go into effect upon signature, but what does that mean to applicants or applications that are currently in the queue? Is it going to change fees, or is it on a go-forward basis?
So currently, through the Chair, currently as now, none of these fees are being charged to any of these, to any applicant who comes in for these items. We have not had too many because of this, and like I said, I have a few that are waiting for this to be approved by the Assembly before they move forward.
Okay, seeing nothing further pending, I guess for the record, we'll go ahead and open it up for the public, and just note that there is no one present here to testify and no one on the phone as well, or either. So we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And next up, if there are no further questions, is, I guess it's open for a motion. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Polis.
So there's no public comment on this case whatsoever? Community councils, nothing?
Through the Chair, Commissioner Pulse, we actually met with the FCC and presented this to them, and I have to think, in December before Christmas. We presented to all the commissioners, or sorry, we presented to all the commissions, all the councils at their meeting.
Basically no comment came up though?
No, they were all actually pretty excited that some of these changes were happening and thought these were good changes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we got a motion pending from Commissioner Strike.
Yes, thank you, through the Chair. In the case 2022, in the case 2022-0016, to recommend to the Anchorage Assembly an ordinance amending Anchorage Municipal Code of Regulations, AMCR 21.20.002, 21.20.003, and 21.20.007 to update the fee schedule with the entitlements currently identified in Title 21.
That motion is seconded by Commissioner Krishna, and just to confirm, oh no, I apologize, sorry. That motion is seconded. Commissioner Strike, would you like to speak to your motion?
Yes, thank you, and through the Chair. As noted, there was no public testimony tonight, as well as confirmation that this had been presented to other community councils and so forth without comments coming back. And so, as noted, this is housekeeping and house cleaning and updating the rates. So much appreciated for the work of the staff. Thank you.
Okay, see nothing further out there, we'll go ahead and call for a vote. All right, that motion passes. That is the last item on our agenda here, so just next up is just a motion to adjourn. We got a motion from Commissioner Ron, seconded by Commissioner Spinelli. Seeing no objection, we are adjourned.